British Prime Minister Boris Johnson called for intransigence towards Russia after a telephone conversation with the heads of state and government of the USA, Germany, France and Italy on the Ukraine war. President Vladimir Putin's government must be judged by its actions and not by its words, Johnson said in a statement after Tuesday's talks with President Joe Biden and Emmanuel Macron, as well as German Chancellor Olaf Scholz and Italian Prime Minister Mario Draghi. The leaders agreed to maintain support for Ukraine in the fight against the Russian invasion, the statement said. In addition, the restructuring of the international energy architecture was discussed in order to reduce the dependence on raw materials such as gas and oil and coal from Russia. There was also agreement that the pressure on Russia should not be allowed to ease before the horror being brought to Ukraine comes to an end, the statement continued. The most recent round of negotiations between Russia and the invaded Ukraine is creating more confidence than in a long time. But the United States and Great Britain want more from Moscow. President Putin will be measured solely by his actions, as I said. After the rapprochement in Russian-Ukrainian talks, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken questioned the seriousness of Moscow's negotiation efforts in the Ukraine war. I haven't seen anything to suggest that this is going forward in an effective way because we haven't seen any signs of real seriousness, he said during a visit to Morocco. There's what Russia says and what Russia does. We are concentrating on the latter, Blinken says. Russia's violence against Ukraine and the Ukrainian people continues. Great Britain also reacted skeptically to the alleged progress in Istanbul. We will judge Putin and his regime by his actions and not by his words, said a spokesman for British Prime Minister Boris Johnson in London. A complete withdrawal of Russian troops from Ukrainian territory is necessary. A rapprochement in the Russian-Ukrainian negotiations in Istanbul had previously nurtured cautious hopes. The Russian negotiators described the recent negotiations with Ukraine as significant and announced that Russia would radically reduce its military activities in the Kiev region and near Cherniv in the north. The Ukrainian side said that a meeting between the heads of state of both countries, that's Volodymyr Zelensky for the Ukraine and Vladimir Putin for Russia, now seems possible. Although our military experts I saw in the news here in my home country, they suspect that the withdrawal from the Kiev region, they put that up on the negotiations now, but the real intention behind this is to bring them to Donbas and to wait for reinforcements from Russia to arrive before attempting anything else in the Kiev region, because they are spread too thin everywhere in the Ukraine at the moment. And after weeks of war they raged on the Ukraine, they have not made any real progress. And especially the capital Kiev, they wanted to invade within hours after starting the war, is still a free capital, for God's sake. And I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.